So by tradition, this fourth Sunday of Easter is Good Shepherd Sunday. Good Shepherd Sunday. And we've had the Gospel of St John of the Good Shepherd, where the most famous line, I'm sure you've memorised this over the years, is that the Good Shepherd is one who lays down his life for his sheep. That's at the core. But in fact, there's a whole vision, a whole theology here of the shepherd, of Jesus' love for us, of salvation, if you like. The Good Shepherd, yes, is the one who lays down his life for his sheep. He's the one who does not run away when the wolf comes. He's the one who knows his sheep and is known by them. He's the one who speaks to them and listens to them. He's the one who leads them and unites them so that there will be one shepherd and one united flock. And he is the one who is known by his Father and is obedient to his Father. All of this in that short gospel that we've heard. It's Christ, our Saviour, the Good Shepherd. Christ for us. And part of this, traditionally today, is thinking about the theme of vocation, about the ways, the different ways that we are called to shepherd others. Now, the question, is the focus here on the ordained priesthood, the ordained ministry? Well, you know me well enough to guess my answer. It's yes and no, or both and, because I think both themes are running through this day traditionally and through the Gospel reading itself. I've been thinking about this day a lot over the last week because as some of you know, I've been in Spain for the last week. Not just on holiday, although there have been a few gin and tonics in the Plaza Mayor. But I've been doing a week of teaching at the English College, the College of St Albans of the seminary that's in Valladolid in Spain. An amazing history there. Like the English College in Rome, that many of you have heard of, where I studied, this is one of the counter-Reformation seminaries that was set up abroad for English priests because it was illegal to study for the priesthood here in England. It was set up in 1589, and they have an incredible tradition of having the college martyrs, priests who were ordained in Spain, came back to England and literally gave their lives for the Lord and for the faith. They have 6 saints, 16 blesseds and 1 venerable, and their portraits of the martyrs are down the main corridor. So I came back with lots of ideas, you can imagine. I'd quite like our martyr saints from Newman House to be painted in the corridor, so we can work on that. But in Valladolid, the seminarians do what's called, it's a bit jargony, a propedeutic year. It's a single year of spiritual and faith formation just before they go on to one of the main seminaries in England or in Rome or whatever country they're from. This is something that has been part of our tradition, but Pope Francis has been emphasising very much in a new document he's given about seminary. And the idea is that young men are coming from very different backgrounds, and just to have a year of deepening their faith, their prayer, their sense of community, what it means to be Catholic, full stop, what it means to be a holy layperson, so that they're ready then to take that step of going to what's traditionally called major seminary. It's something I'd wish for everyone, actually. I hope the chaplaincy is a tiny taste of a propedeutic year. But I was there and I focused the week on the 3 munera of the priesthood. Munera, the plural of munus, which is a funny, difficult to translate Latin word, meaning something like duty, responsibility, task, gift, obligation. Something that is handed to you as a gift, but carries a great weight of responsibility for you to use and fulfill in your life. The 3 munera are to be priest, man of prayer, of the sacraments, to be prophet, teacher, catechist, to be a shepherd, king, leader, brother, spiritual father. Priest, prophet, king. You've heard that phrase before, because whenever I'm speaking about baptism, I'm speaking about the same munera, aren't I? And in fact, some of you, 7 of you, some of you here today who were baptised in our Easter pool, this is one of the themes of the step of baptism, that you are called to share in the great responsibility of shepherding God's people and of shepherding the world. And that your particular vocation as baptised lay people is to go out into the world with these responsibilities. That you, as a layperson, are anointed with the sacred oil of chrism at your baptism. Chrism, a priestly oil. And then, of course, that the ordained minister has a very special responsibility. The Catholic priest is ordained sacramentally, is consecrated, in one sense is set apart. This is what I was saying to the seminarians. Not to be separate, but to have a particular role to lead Christ's people, to lead the church in these 3 ways. To be, for you, a priest, prophet and a shepherd. This is our vocation as ordained ministers. Another bit of Latin from the tradition here. In one sense, all of us, ordained ministers and baptised, we stand in persona Christi. You've heard that phrase before. In persona Christi. We're all called to be Christ for others. And you, a special responsibility to do that in the world of life and family and work and studies and shopping and relaxation. For you to be the person of Jesus Christ, to stand in his name. And for us ordained ministers, yes, to be in persona Christi, but, in persona Christi capitis et pastoris, in the person of Christ, the head and shepherd. This is our particular role. And it's been something that's been very important for me, not just in my priesthood, but in the discovery of that vocation at the beginning. So today, both and, yes but, all of us, I hope, can be thinking about vocation. In general, how are you living your Christian faith, your baptismal faith? If you had stepped into these waters just a few weeks ago, like our neophytes, our newly baptised, what would you be wanting to live in your new Christian life? What is, in the broadest sense, your Christian vocation? But particularly, as I've said before in sermons this year, what is God calling you to in terms of your lifelong vocation, your lifelong commitment? Even though you're stressed about other things at the moment, I know, we're just at the beginning of exam period, but just for you to have at the back of your mind, where is God leading me? Not just this month, not just the summer job or the coming year, but what is he calling me to? To be married, perhaps? To be a priest? To be a religious brother or sister? To be a consecrated single person? To be a permanent deacon? All the different vocations that God can call us to. And yes, there is a particular focus today on the ordained priesthood, the ministerial priesthood. What a gift to the church. When I was in Valladolid this week, I spoke about many things, but really about 2 themes. I spoke about the joy of the priesthood. What an incredible vocation and a privilege it is to be able to live this life, to be able to give your life and your heart to the Lord and to others in his service as a priest. And the incredible joy and happiness that I have found since my ordination 20 years ago in so many different places, in parishes, in schools, in prisons, in hospitals, in university chaplaincies, places I'd never expect to go, but always trying to carry with me the love of Christ and to share that and to receive that in abundance from others. The joy of the priesthood. But I also spoke about the importance of the Catholic priesthood. How much we need good men to be good priests. How much the church needs this vocation. All of us. How much I as a priest need other priests to minister to me. We would not have the sacraments, the sacrifice of the Mass, the grace of forgiveness in confession, the unity of the church through our priests and our bishops, and the love that all of us, I hope, have received from the friendship and the counsel and the shepherding of priests in different places. How much we need good priests, and for us to pray for priests, to pray for vocations, and if you are a young single man, to think about that very seriously, joyfully, but seriously. Is this something that God might be calling me to? I've said this already this year. In fact, the numbers have gone up. Last time I said very proudly that we've had 4 men since the summer and 1 young woman go into the priesthood and, in the woman's case, into religious life. Well, I heard last month that we've had one of our students from 2 years ago who's joined the oratory in London with the hope of becoming a priest. So we've had 5 young men go to explore their priestly vocation. And wouldn't it be great if we had another 5 or another, I was going to say another 50, but we might be struggling for husbands then. So maybe 20. Yeah? Maybe 10 or 20 more would be good. The joy of priesthood, the importance of priesthood. And look, just to a final image, to leave you with some images, the posters for today. It's Vocation Sunday. And I really like the 2 posters together. So I'll take them out and I'll put them up. The first is a general Vocations Sunday poster. And can you see it? Yep, take a look. What's it saying to you? So, 2 happy young people. Yeah? A young man and a young woman looking very chilled, very relaxed. The sense of infinite possibilities. Not much of a sense of commitment or direction, but I think that's the point. They've both got bags over their shoulders. Yeah? They're on a journey and it could take them anywhere, and they're happy and open and excited. And in fact, the very clever title. Yeah? It says, "It's your call." And many of you are non-native English speakers. There's a clever pun here. "It's your call" has 2 meanings in English. It means it's a call that is yours. It's addressed to you. It's your vocation. It's your vocation, not mine. So it's something about the personal nature of vocation. God's love for you. He has something very special for you. And for you to be open to that, what is He calling you to? It's your call. But the phrase in English, as many of you know, also means, oh, it's your call. Meaning, it's up to you to decide. What are we going to do? It's your call. It's a subtle phrase. And I like it because it's part of vocation. It's not because we can choose to do anything we like. It's not because, in fact, for a lifelong vocation, we should choose something God doesn't want for us. No. But it is up to us to say yes. It's our call. We're listening. And the Lord says to us, what do you say? What do you think? It's your call. It's your decision, ultimately. Are you open and ready and willing? They're both true. It's God's call to us, and it's our call. And the second poster is about diocesan priesthood. Can you see this here? Yeah, it's 5 young guys sitting round the garden table with Father Stewart, our vocations promoter, in fact in the garden of Allen Hall, where I worked for 8 years. And again, young people, I think, looking relaxed and open and happy, but with a little bit more, if you like, seriousness about this. They're sitting round a table, they're talking, they're discerning, and they've come into a circle of support and exploration. They've taken a step and they've realised that they can't follow this call alone. So I like the two posters together. A poster of infinite openness and possibilities, but needing to take a step at a certain point and to share with others and talk to others and explore more deeply and more seriously. That's the step I'd love you all to get to. Not that you're all going to go to Allen Hall, but you'd all be able to say, I'm really thinking about X, Y and Z. I want the help of others, the help of the church, and yes, I'm open to it. It's your call. It's God's call to you. It's also your call. How will you respond? And I hope and pray that all of you in different ways will be able to say yes to God's call, whatever it is.